Make sure I know what I'm doing before I get started. What's going on, guys? It's Chris here, and today we are gonna start a series where I go over some albums I think are 10 out of 10s from each decade. But we are not doing the 2010s because I may just make a top albums list of that decade. I'll probably just do that or do something related to that since I've listened to like a lot of albums from that decade and I'm pretty knowledgeable on 2010s compared to most decades because I lived through it. So we're gonna talk about the 2000s now, and this is the first one. We're gonna go back all the way to the 60s, and we may do multiple cycles of this. We may not. If anything, if you wonder about the certain album, is this a 10? You can add. You can Twitter me, you can email me, you can do anything else on my Rate Your Music account. I can, even though I just slap on the score, so usually they're not 100% canon. Yeah, I still have access to the account though, so any not canon score I think needs to get changed can just get changed like that. But let's not ramble on. Let's just talk about the music and the albums that I am going to be talking about today. Five of them for each video. There's going to be five albums I feel like strongly, really, really strongly are 10 out of 10 albums. And yeah, let's get started with the first one, Daft Punk's Discovery. What I'm telling you, this is the house album like of all time. This is it. There is not a single house album to me that is as good, as amazing, as song for song for song fucking excellent. I mean, each song on here, each performance on here is amazing. Um, every track is excellent. Of course, you have like One More Time, iconic. Harder, Bigger, Faster, Stronger, iconic. But just the flow of this album too is excellent. Like the concept and flow around this record. I know this record was like related to like some type of film or something, but like that's not why I like it because of how great, consistent, and just amazingly boundary pushing this album is, especially for the type of music it is. This is probably my favorite electronic album, or up there with some of my favorite electronic albums ever. Point blank, period, and for good reason. Holy shit! Yeah, every song here is amazing. There's not a single bad moment. There's not a single lull. There's not a single song on here that I say, oh, it's not as good as the rest. No, no, no. Fuck. This album is absolutely perfect in every single way imaginable. Absolute 10 out of 10. Well deserving of a 10. And yeah, Daft Punk's Discovery is a 10 out of 10. All right, next up, we have Björk, Vespertine. This album, too, this album is probably a personal favorite of mine. I mean, like, if you know me, you know I praise the shit out of this album. This album is excellent, 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 excellent. Just the production, Bjork's vocals. Oh my god. This to me, when it comes to art pop, this is one of the best. This is one of the best. Possibly the gold standard of art pop, even though there's like multiple other art pop records that I would give a 10 out of 10 to. Spelling's the Turning Wheel is one of them, and another one will be mentioned in a later video in the series, so I'm not going to spoil that. But when it comes to art pop, there's not many albums I think are as good, as amazing. I love the singing, the production. Matmos, the duo Matmos did a great job. There's some beautiful moments on here, like Pagan Poetry or Cocoon, Hidden Place, Aurora. Holy shit! Oh, It's Not Up to You. Like, well, I'm telling you, this is one of the best albums, like, of pop. Period. This is one of them. This is it. Out like this is just the album from the 2000s, or from basically of all time when it comes to art pop. There's like very few albums I would put on this level, and for good fucking reason. Because damn, damn, every song is amazing. Not a single bad moment. Not a single moment where I'm not absolutely just mind blown and in love with this record. No, every single moment I am feeling like this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. Ah, yeah. Next album I would give a 10 out of 10 to. It's in the background. It's pretty obvious. The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones. Yeah, this is pretty obvious. I feel I have not met a single music fan who does not love this album to death, and it's for good fucking reason. Holy shit. Every song here, amazing, perfect, mind blowing, emotional. Some of the best songwriting you will hear of this whole decade. I mean, Phil Elverum was on another fucking level making this album. When it comes to indie folk and that kind of like indie esque, like, this is possibly the best album in that whole indie sphere around this time. And forget, there was some awesome ass albums coming out in the early 2000s and late 90s. For example, like American Water, the Elliott Smith self-titled, fucking An Airplane Over the Sea. But when it comes to those records, and as much as some of those records would probably get the 10 out of 10 score for me too, I honestly think that the Glow Part 2 is the best. It's the best written, the best production. I love the more lo-fi aesthetics of that album, and it really does add a lot to the experience. And just some of the vocals from Phil Elverum, I love his like boyish and kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Like he's a very boyish vocals, and it's just amazing. Like if you go to a song like "The Glow Part 2" or "I Felt Your Shape." Also, I love songs like "Samurai Sword." There's like booming fucking super lo-fi in your ear. I remember I was listening to this album with a couple of friends. I remember one of my friends is not used to music like this. He was like, he loves the album. Not as much as me, but he loves the album. But he was just like, what the fuck when you got to that song? And even the last song, as a lot of people would probably say this one drones on, I think it's amazing. And just every song on it, every moment, when it comes from the first song of the or from, I Want the Wind to Blow to My Warm Blood, everything is fucking amazing. Not a single moment where I am not freaking the fuck out, because this is one of those albums, in my opinion, that got is in my head the most emotionally, and just like, this is one of the most life-changing albums in my opinion out of this whole list. Out of this whole series that I'm making, I already picked the albums. This is possibly the number one when it comes to like emotional impact, or at least in the top three. And for a good reason. I mean, there's another one I'm gonna say that about in this video, but we'll get to that. And yeah, Glow Part 2, amazing record, perfect record, a 10 out of 10 record. Yeah. All right. Next album, we have Godspeed, You, Black Emperor. Lift your skinny fists like antennas to heaven. Yes, 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 yes. When it comes to post rock, this is it. There is not a single better post rock album. I don't care if you're fucking To Be Kind. No, there is not a single album I can think of that is better than this one. Four long ass songs that are just the best sessions of post rock history. I mean, like a song like "Sleep." Oh my god, some of the moments on that are just ooh. I never heard a song that could be as devastating and as freaking like, it's devastating, but at the same time it's also inspirational. How the fuck do they do that? It's very long-winded, but trust me, if you give it your time and you actually try to pay attention to it, you will get a lot out of the album, even if there's like little to no words in it, in the album. Trust me, you will get so much out of this album. um there is a lot of concept about how the world's like build up and gets fucking destroyed. There's huge concept. You get a lot of this very first an album with no lyrics. This album is very fucking like out there with the themes that are on this album. Very amazing. A life changing album, in my opinion. An album that kind of like got me into all the music nerd shit. Um, and yeah, it is a excellent album, a mind blowing album. This is one of those albums that, again, I'm mind blown the whole fucking time. There is not a single second where my mind isn't just exploding because of how amazing, like fucking, ooh, I love that album. That like, just like I said about the Glow Part 2, this is one of those albums that kind of has me in the horror. It's like, holy shit. And yeah, Lift Your Skinny Fist, Godspeed You Black Emperor, amazing. All right, and then our last album. Our last album has to be Madvillainy, by Madvillain, the duel between MF Doom and Madlib. And the reason why this album is on here, one, it is one of my all-time favorite albums. I mean, like, point blank period. This is in the like top 10 or 15 of my favorite albums of all time, pretty fucking easily. And reason I like this album is because of, one, I love how straight to the point it is compared to most Doom albums. I know a lot of people love Food, and I do too, but I think this album is more to the point, more, it has some of the best rap verses you will ever hear. I mean, and the instrumentals are great. Like, obviously, accordion, meat grinder are bangers. There's a lot of bangers on here. Not only that, this album has a whole host of influences that this album influenced. There's no, it doesn't make sense how Billy Woods and Drake are both influenced by this album. It makes no fucking sense. Also, of course, Tyler the Creator too, but you know, it makes no sense that those three, I'll count Tyler the Creator. Those three totally different artists have the same huge influence in common, and it's just because of how great and how timeless and how this record is. I also love the way this record like runs. It's not like a usual album. It doesn't have a usual album flow. This is more of a rougher flow, and I think it really does add to the quality of this album. Every song is amazing. There's not a single song on here, a single moment that's like I don't like. I love every single moment on here, and it is just, to me, when it comes to abstract hip hop, this is the top dog. When this is the top dog. This is the best abstract hip hop album ever thought of. And yeah, those are my 10 out of 10s from the 2000s. There's a couple more that I could have mentioned in this video that I'll probably either mention in a later video or mention in a live stream, or if you guys ask me in the comments, I will, if I could think about it on the top of my head, I will confirm it or deny it. Yeah, those are albums I think are 10s from the 2000s. Yeah. Bye.